Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Shalom. Um, I have been in the Situation Room and I have been on the ground with the unbelievable Israeli staff and operation that we have here. There is a team of many. Not one person can carry it alone. And with our amazing affiliates, some of who that are on the call, some of you have presented, some of you that you know. Being on the ground, I have a little note written to me on the ground. You know, when you're on the ground in the Gaza envelope in the last 3 weeks, it changes. The perspective that I personally had is over the 10 years that I've working with Jewish National Fund, building and working with the communities to build, it's surreal because the communities I know and the Kfar Aza I know and the Kibbutz Erez I know and the Magen that I know, I look through the eyes and I see color and I see light and I see love and I see life. And when you get there and you look at it, suddenly those things that you're used to and you know, and we all know that have been there, are suddenly not. Some of you that know me know that me being at a loss of words is a miracle in and of itself, but that's really what it was. The one thing I could tell you, and I don't think I need to go into the details of what it's like, as Michal said, to smell and feel evil when you walk those streets, is actually the encouraging part that you see when you walk those streets. The encouraging part when you walk those streets is the people that you meet might be somewhat broken, and we're all mourning, and we're all sad. But what you leave when you get back into the car, when you leave, when you finish the meeting and you leave that room, is the feeling of strength. It's silly. You think that you go there to help and be inspiring, but then when you walk out, suddenly you feel as the one that's being inspired. The people that are down there, the individuals that we know, that we love, that we work with, that we are family, are the most inspiring individuals I have ever met in my entire life. And when you walk through that, you feel the strength. And that's why we're so driven to work together. The strategic way we work, the consortium that we create, the synergies that we were able to create on the ground. And if it's even 3, 4, 5 weeks before, not knowing what was going to happen, but working on an evacuation plan, knowing so that at the drop of a hat, we can take a community as a whole and move it to another place in the country. That the regional council mayor calls me and says, thank God you spoke to us a couple months back about this because you have the only plan that we had on the desk. When we think about what Doron and what Eli just spoke about, individuals with special needs, the individuals that don't have the voices that we need to make sure their voices aren't forgotten, that don't fall on deaf ears. If it's talking about Lotem that took over 5,000 kids from the evacuees out and gave them that moment of joy and gave them that moment of life. And if it's talking about organizations like Green Horizons, that in and of itself are an extraordinary organization, but when you walk through it's nothing less of a refugee camp in the Dead Sea. And you see the individuals, and I'm looking and I'm talking to the Eshkol Regional Council staff and the Shara Negev Regional Council staff when we're there, and I'm saying, wow, you must have hired new people. And they said, we didn't hire anybody. And I go over and I say, who exactly do you guys work for? They're like, we work for Green Horizons. We're just here on their staff, on their team. And it's happening all over the country. This is what it's like to have a synergy. This is what it's like to create that consortium when we couldn't get civil security gear. But when we called the manufacturers from overseas in Israel and said, guys, we're Sderot, we're Shara Negev, we're Eshkol Regional Council, we're together, we're one, suddenly the conversation changed. Suddenly we were able to get things that no one else could. And that's what it's about. It's about volunteering and mobilizing 120,000 volunteers because there's a food security issue right now that is a clear and present danger to the future of the state of Israel. It's about housing issues when we want to find long-term solutions in places like Arad and Yerucham. If day by day we can continue using the synergy, using the energy, and finding solutions, we can continue not only being inspired, but being inspiring. Every time we walked out of a meeting, every time we walked out of a place, it only strengthens what I knew, that we have a national mission. We have a mission to rebuild. We have a mission to continue. We have a mission to return. It's what it's about. And some people think it's an Israeli story or it's a Gaza envelope story. And that couldn't be farther from the truth. I know I'm preaching to the choir of hundreds that are on these calls, and I see faces time after time coming on because you care, because you love, because you say, count on me. Because you say, we'll be here for you when you need us. We'll be able to give the support. We'll be able to give that love. The only way I can walk through the streets of the Gaza envelope, walk into the meetings that we're starting to discuss the tomorrow, starting to discuss how we can build bigger and better, because that is how we are going to return the individuals to their homes. There already are individuals turning to some of their homes and they're saying, we want to return home. And our job, our mission, our life's mission right now is to enable an oasis to build bigger, to build better, and to not stop until we're done. When you walk around the streets and you see the burns and the bullet holes, yes, we see it on the media, we see what's going on. But I urge you, I ask you, I appeal to you to please join me. Join us walking through when you're seeing it on the media, when you're seeing it on wherever you're seeing it, and see it through the prism of beauty. How we can make it bloom again, how we can continue making it a prosperous future for that part of our country, for our homeland, because that is what we need. All the support we're doing, we're going to keep on doing because we need to help people that are displaced. We need to help everybody that needs help. But the prism we need to look at the Gaza envelope right now is to see the strong people, to see the inspiring people, and to see through the prism of how beautiful it was and how beautiful it can be. As Daron said, no one's going to go home unless they're secure. That's true. And we have a country that is going to have to answer for that. And we are going to make sure they answer for that. And we are going to ensure that they do that because the second we can return, we have shovel in the ground. Yesterday, I can't even make it up. I'll send it to whoever wants. We just got the building permits for the new resilience center in the Eshkol Regional Council. We have flagship initiatives like the largest community center almost in this country that we already started construction on. Therapy centers, athletic centers. We are already there. We are already building. We are already doing. And the only way we can do any of it is number one, with the inspirational individuals that live there and are going to continue growing there. And because of you guys, because we're nothing without you here. We can be a big, strong bunch of individuals, but without your support, without you pushing us up that hill, every text message you send, every dollar you put in, every investment you make is going to drive us to bigger, better oasis and the future of our homeland. Don't forget it and join us. Toda rabah. Thank you, everyone.